What up, y'all? This is your boy Pepe G coming to you live from the QSide Show with WMCR Studios. Tune in. Go.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Q Side Show. I'm your boy Pepe G, and I'm talking to you about love today. Today is all about love. Now, why is it hard for someone to find love? The reason why it's hard to find love these days is number one, the LGBTQ community. It has become a very popular trend to the very popular trend in this world today. People went to school with are joining. It's just becoming a very popular trend today, despite what my religion says. Number two is due to my generation. Now, before my generation, which is the Gen Zs or the millennials, there was an expectation that when you went out to college, you came home with a girlfriend, or if you're a girl, a boyfriend. Is clearly not that way anymore after my point one I just explained. Um, they expected you to meet your spouse in college and get a white picket fence house, have a job, just the common sit down, settle down, and get married type of thing. My generation has forever changed the natural course of that, especially with our music and popular trends and just everything else, including marriage. The my generation changed marriage very much. Divorce rate is down due to people getting married to love, or people are not marrying, or people not getting married just to get married. They're marrying for a reason. They were getting married because they first worked on themselves first. Then that's the key. If you truly want to get married, or if you truly want to find a girlfriend, first work on yourself. That is key. Always work on yourself first. Uh, they'll get married because they have worked on themselves first, like I just said, and then came seeking somebody else. Gen Zs aren't following the tradition of come home from school, like I just said, with someone they met. Gen Zs are the generation that either want what their heart desires, and sometimes it can be pretty gross. Um, yeah, but we want what we want. They don't want. They either want all of it or they want none of it. That's how they are, and we're not afraid to say it. Also call them the rule breaking generation or the tradition breaking generation because when we see something like I just said, we want it and we go after it and we don't stop till we get it. And the same thing when it comes to love, and that is key. Now, the reason why some people are afraid of love or afraid to settle down is one, commitment. When it comes to dedication and time spent, communication requires the two to share. Dating's all about learning how to share and to put someone else before you, and now you have to think about the other person before yourself. And that can get a little scary sometimes. Mind you, I have a family. And when it comes to family, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like sharing any of my stuff. Sometimes it can come to that conclusion. Sometimes, like for instance, I don't like sharing my car with my parents. I really don't like it at all. Excuse me. Due to because I don't know what they're doing in the car, and that's my baby. I've went on that car since I was like 5 years old. I've been dreaming about driving since I was like five, and I really don't like sharing my things. And I'm pretty sure my parents feel the same way about sharing their things. But when it comes to love, that's what it comes to, and that's why people are so scared of commitments because they gotta share. Failed relationships or past failed relationships, I understand what that's like. I understand what that's like getting screwed over. I understand what it's like, crying 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I understand what it's like to have nightmares and to feel like no one loves you, or you feel like the whole world is supporting you, but yet you just don't feel it. Like the world is supporting you. Um yeah, getting screwed over can make someone feel vulnerable, and it can make somebody feel unwanted and unloved. I know exactly what it's like to be um vulnerable. I don't know if I should say it now, but there are times when I get lonely and I will run to somebody to feel like there's a safety net for me, or like a church or a shelter in the time of storm. That's where I'm at, and that's how people are now. I don't say lady friends, but I do have family friends that are young mothers. I'm not gonna say who, but they are young mothers, and for me, I'm kind of like a safety net for them. The first one, I kind of got into some things and it didn't work out the way we thought it was. The second one was good. The one I'm in a relationship now, not relationship like dating, but a friendship. Yes, that's the type of friendship. People stop thinking that relationships is always boyfriend or girlfriend. Dating, I mean, relationships can be my mother. Dating, not dating. Relationship can be my father. Everybody has a different relationship than you. Relationship does not always have to come off as dating. We're not dating. We are strictly friends, and that's what it's gonna be at. That's what it's gonna stay. All right now. Now, as I was saying, we were friends still to this day. Despite my feelings, we're still friends to this day, and it's good when people can depend on you for a place of safety and for a sense of counseling and a sense of a place of warmth and comfort and solace. And it's great to have someone to lean on when your days are cloudy and it's you just feel like your life's not worth it, or your gray clouds are gray and you have no one to turn to. It's good to have some people to turn to. For it's it's good to have people in this world who you rely on. That's all I'm trying to say. Good grief. Now, number 5, shallow or superficial people. Now, these people care only about appearances and themselves. They don't care about the person's feelings. For example, I have a friend who was liked by this girl so much that she gave him free rides. She stayed over his house for a whole week, which is kind of weird, considering that they just met that week. Um, she wrapped his hand in a cast when it broke or it got sprained, and the only woman who wrapped my leg in a cast is my mother. There's only one woman in my life that's ever done all that stuff for me, and that is my mom. There's no other woman that has done that for me. Um, yeah, and he acted like it was nothing. Meanwhile, he had homeboys who were lonely, had homeboys who wish there was somebody in their lives, have homeboys who sometimes go to bed sad because there's no one to love, and he treats love as though it's like it's nothing. He treats love, to my opinion, he treats love as though it's some silly game and like the girls don't matter. And I'm And he has homeboys, yes, who wake up every day that say she'll come, I know she will come, I know she will come, and they say it over and over and over and over again. But this guy plays with girls feels like it's a Nerf gun. And mark my words, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it with meaning. There's gonna be a day where my friend is gonna like somebody, and he's gonna really, really, really like somebody, and she can see past her game. I mean, yeah, she can see past his game, and she can see past the foolishness that he's doing, and she's gonna make him work for it, and that's just simply what it's at. That's simply where it's at. And you can't. Let me tell you something about love. You can't love somebody because of what they look like, and that's not what's gonna be carried into a serious relationship. Because let me tell you something, beauty is not forever. Only intelligence is forever. You can't like somebody because they're beautiful. I mean, mind you, um, I've seen plenty of celebrities who I liked when I was younger, and now I'm like, that's what they look like now. Ew, gross. And that gives off a sense of that's why you a sense of why you shouldn't date because of looks. You know, I've met plenty of women who were gorgeous and they were kind, and I met plenty of women who were gorgeous and they were just straight up mean and nasty and just rude. And that'll be most of the women I grew up with. You know what I'm saying, Derek? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Derek. Come on, you know what I'm talking about, Derek. Yeah, you know the girls who grew up with were cute, but they were just downright nasty, not niceness. Just downright nasty. And this is why you should not just date because of feelings or looks. You should date because of friendship. Now, on to number 6, 40-day dating. For some people, relationship is like a 40-day trial. If they don't like what the person, if they don't like what they see in the person, they don't want to exceed past the barrier of the relationship. And to me, that's not what it's about. I remember watching Bridgerton, and this guy's father, this guy is a womanizer, for some reason, and he sees Daphne, and Daphne is, oh, I tell you, my mother thinks Daphne is so plain. To me, Daphne is gorgeous. I tell you, she is bad, but Daphne was I'm trying to form my words. He started to have a friendship with Daphne, and when that friendship kept growing, he was starting to find love, but he was not satisfied with that love as the TV shows went on. And it turns out when he was younger, his dad abused him verbally. His dad taught him that. Well, I can't say that part because y'all have to go watch the movie. Yes, go watch the movie. I'm not gonna say it, but you cannot just treat a person like they're a 40-day trial, and then if you don't like what they see in that person, then the person is gone. It's just that will damage a person. You know, you can't do that. Now number 7, process of recovery. To me, heartbreak is one of the most darkest places to be at mentally. It is very painful to be separate from someone. It is so painful to be broken up with someone you love. I became friends with this gorgeous Colombian girl. As I told you in a couple minutes ago about the first failed relationship, is that I like the Colombian girl a lot. I mean, I was friends with her, but as the days grew on, I started to like her a lot. And of course, due to my religious duties, I'm not allowed to fall in love with certain type of people. I can't say her business out loud. I'm keeping that a secret. But I loved it so much that it became delusional, and I became too big for my britches, and I crossed some lines, and I got heartbroken. You know, I was having nightmares. I was crying. I was thinking about what death was like. Will I be sure? Will I shoot myself? Will I become a crip and die by gangbanging? I mean, I was going crazy. I was crying all day. I gained weight. The only thing I ate was like wheat stuff. What's it called? I ate a lot of starch. I ate a lot of starch when I was depressed. And one day it came to a point where I couldn't take it anymore, and I went to the Hebrew Israelites. I have cousins who are Hebrew Israelites, and they pointed me back to God, and I started changing my life over again. Of course, she came around like a couple more times, and it did seem a little awkward, but now I'm fine with it. I'm over it. I still got her phone number. I was thinking about texting her, see how she's doing. But that's what comes with heartbreaks. I know what it's like to have heartbreaks and to feel like there's darkness all around you. There's nowhere you can feel safe. You feel trapped. That's I know how it is. And let me tell you a secret. But Heal Me was not medicine. But Heal Me was not drugs. What healed me was not rap music. The only thing that healed me was Jesus. That's the only thing that keeps me from being depressed. As a matter of fact, even today, Saturday night, I became sad. But I also recognize that sadness is a very human emotion, very very human emotion, and that's it's very human emotion to feel. Even Jesus got sad. When Jesus heard his cousin died, he was sad. He cried, and when Lazarus died, he wept. It's being sad is a very human emotion, but I can only get sad for a certain amount of time because eventually it has to pass, and eventually this emotion is gonna have to give itself up. As you know, you gotta tell yourself, "I'm in charge. I'm in charge. I'm in charge," and you just gotta keep it like that. Now, having high standards, to me, if every person could follow this rule, life would be so sweet. Growing up, I like this rapper named Easy E. Big time. Oh man, I used to dress like him. Sometimes I'll act like him. If I didn't get my money by a certain time, I would act like him too. But like me to Easy E got too wrapped up in women. And it got to a point where he contracted a virus and he died. He just died. That's what happened. And some people say he was stuck with a needle due to conspiracy. But you got to remember that, and I understand if you're a guy and you see unattainable women, you would like to date the person. I understand what it's like to have to be faced with unattainable women, but well, I always remember, and I have a quote book. When I came out, not came out of prison, but when I finally came out of depression, I started writing down quotes too. I started having a quote book because of Marcus Aurelius, and I wrote down in my quote book, "Every bell isn't for this beast," and after that, I wrote, "Sometimes it's the bells of this world that are beasts," and those are women. That's just how some women are. Some women are kind, like I said before. Some women are beautiful inside and out, and then some women are beautiful only on the outside and ugly on the inside. And you gotta remember that some women you just don't date at all. Some women are just not for you. I know it's hard, and I know you wish she was yours, or you wish that she was a friend, or I don't know. But what I do know is not every girl is for you, man. Sometimes you just need to walk away and be like, no, that girl's not for me. She's trouble. And even my homeboy Derek, was like, I understand, Joe, that you think she's cute. I understand that you feel a certain way towards her, but this girl has problems. You don't want to date someone like that. You don't want a headache like that on your hands. And yeah, you gotta have standards, man. Even in the book of Ecclesiastes 3, it says that there's a time and a place for everything. Um, and you gotta have standards that's And yeah, it's good to have standards. Well, now let me say the bad part about standards. It's good to have standards, but if you have standards that are unattainable, you're gonna miss out in life. I'm just gonna tell you that right there. When it comes to standards, it's great to have standards, but make sure they're not too high. There's something that's too high or is too much. And if you keep having too much high standards and you try to perfect the relationship to the point where it's like lost to an Orthodox Muslim or Christian or Jew, you're gonna miss out a lot in life. You know, there's a section of the Jewish culture called the Orthodox Jews, and of course, they're so stone cold in their religious laws and duties that they don't think of anything else. You know, they don't do anything else but follow the Jewish this. I mean, they try to keep every single law, and it's great in my religion. It's great to try to keep every single law, but if you there are also times we need to have fun too. Nothing wrong with kicking back and relaxing. You don't need to be uptight all the time. And then of course there's other Jews called Reform Jews, and what they do is they try to follow the law to a certain point, and they try to follow this to some point. But if you try to follow every single law that you come across, brother, you your head gonna pop, your head gonna explode. And sorry about that, computer. As I was trying to say, yeah, and what I learned from Chris Tucker and Rush Hour 2 is that, you know, some people just need to stop acting like cops. You know, just have to stop acting like cops and live it up, man. You know, it's nice to be a criminal sometimes. It's nice to kick back and relax. It's nice to not be so uptight all the time. You know? And to me, that's what comes to the Italians. Because to me, the Italians live a long life. For me, what I love about the Italians is that we, man, the way the Italians live is just so amazing. It's they. I think it's they live to eat and we eat to live. So for them, eating is like entertainment. Eating to them is like nothing. It's like it's entertainment. For us, it's part of life. But for them, is eating is like watching TV. It's just entertaining. Now let's talk about the proper ways to end a relationship, and I'm gonna have to end this probably in a couple minutes. Yeah, because I don't have time to read everything. The proper time to end a relationship is when the partner isn't respecting you. I cannot stand it when the man or the woman doesn't respect the couple or the person. It could be from abusing you verbally to emotional whipping. And you know, when I say emotional whipping, it's they put all their problems on you so that they can feel better and that they could feel more accomplished. And I pretty much I know what it's like to be an emotional whipping boy. As I told you, I was friends with a girl, and as much as I still love her to this day, undelusionally, I was somewhat like her emotional whipping boy, and I didn't see it until later, and now I'm not cool with it. I'm still cool with her, but I'm not cool with the drama that transpired. I'm just not cool with that. And sometimes abuse could be physical, and yes, men. Um, Sometimes it'd be women too. That could be the one that physically abusing, because men are not always the only one. Sometimes it's women too. And you know that's when you need to end a relationship. The second signal you need to end a relationship is remember the Elsa song, "Let It Go." Sometimes, I remember I liked this girl in Pathfinders, and she was, oh man, the the whole church knew that I liked this girl a lot. What I liked about this girl is that um She wasn't. Oh, let me not say ghetto. She wasn't a 7-Eleven. She wasn't a motor mouth. She was quiet. She was gentle. She was peaceful. She was kind. She was just really cool, and I liked her. And what I didn't like about it is communication. Um, Sometimes she'll text me like 3 months later. One time I visited her in October, and she didn't text me back till like December. And after that, I just completely shut her out because I can't have a girlfriend or a future partner who doesn't communicate. If anything, communication is like the number one thing in a relationship. Communication. What if you got into a car crash and I didn't know where you were? Wow, I sound like my parents. Wow. But the whole point is communicate with me. Um, some relationships are just need to be let go. You just need to walk away from it. Now the third thing is, and I gotta end soon. The third sign to end a relationship is when you look more on the bad times instead of the good parts. Now in therapy, it's called cognitive distortion, which is called filtering. And yes, I used to do that too before I went to therapy. I used to look at things. Man, what did I say? Matter of fact, when in 2018 I got my first car, and I wasn't satisfied with that because it wouldn't go fast enough. Of course, when you're young and you have your license, you think you know all these things and you speed a lot. Sometimes I'll do like 100 in like a 60 miles, so, or I'll do like in a 50. I'll be doing like 100. One time I went up to like 101, I think, or 102, and I was just having a good old time. I know it was stupid, but back then I was young. I didn't quite understand driving as I do now. And of course, I can't drive because the gas situation with the hackers. But what I'm trying to say is, as a young man, I wasn't satisfied with anything. My parents got me a car, wasn't satisfied. I got, I think, a iPod. Was it iPod Classic? Yeah, it was an iPod, but it wasn't yet a phone. It was like a couple of years, like 2 or 3 years before the first phone came out. I wasn't satisfied with that. Um, I got a laptop. I wasn't satisfied with that because it had Never mind. Never mind about that. Let me take that out. Oh snap! I gotta go soon. Um, I just wasn't satisfied for much of anything, and now that I'm older, I'm starting to appreciate more things more. Um, Now how to end a relationship properly, and I'm gonna end with this section is first of all, don't do it over the phone. That it's better to do it face to face. Number two, choose a place and don't do it at work because that's inappropriate, and you're not supposed to have your drama at work. Don't do it on a special day because that can make the day. Because on that special day, the person is happy and the person is living and the person has a reason to live. And when you do it on a special day, you take away that reason to live. Um, don't. I'm sorry. Sorry for that. Don't. Don't extend the breakup. Yes, I'm sorry it took me so long. Don't extend the breakup. Because if you extend it, it leaves room for awkwardness or it leaves things undone, or it's just not good to extend breakups. End it and end it there. Say goodbye, make your peace, and go on. Now, thanks for tuning in with me. This is your boy Pepe G signing off with WMCR Studios, and good night.